गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन् नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती दीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पक्ष्येमाक्ष्यभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
शंभु कुमारा गौरी तनया शंभु कुमारा गौरी तनया गजानना सदया जय जय गजानना सदया वरद गणेशा विनाशा वरद गणेशा दुरित विनाशा प्रणवाकारा नाथा सदया प्रणवाकारा नाथा सदया गजानना सदया जय जय गजानना सदया शंभु कुमारा गौरी तनया
सद्गुरु ब्रह्म सनातन है सद्गुरु ब्रह्म सनातन है परम दया घन पावन है परम दया घन पावन है जन्मज दुख विनाशन है जन्मज दुख विनाशन है जगदोधारण कारण है जगदोधारण कारण है जनार्दन हे सत्य साई जनार्दन हे भव भय जलधि तारण हे भव भय जलधि तारण हे सद्गुरु ब्रह्म सनातन हे. Now I invite Director Shri Satya Sai Vidya Vahini, Karuna Munshi Didi, to initiate the proceedings.
Thank you, Sargam sister. My loving pranams at the lotus feet of the Divine Director, Boss, and our God, our most beautiful and beloved Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. My dear sisters and brothers, Sai Ram, good evening. Thank you for joining. I was very excited when this group decided to, when we convinced this, because I have a personal stake in it. One, if I may call it role seva, is that I get to go to this beautiful place called Madurai in connection with the Virudhunagar project. When this project started, I was in Rishikesh, and our managing trustee, Brother Ratnakarji, called me there and said, Karunaji, some man from Niti Ayog will call you. This is his name. Please take his call. And you can imagine in the mountains, the signal was so bad. And I keep getting this person calling me from Niti Ayog. Program you have. Fast forward to several months later, some of us went to Niti Ayog and we made a presentation. They had given us, I think, 45. And Hari brother was very clever. He left before and after, he left the screens on both ends. He left the slide with Swami, the dedication slide on throughout, and I cannot tell you how beautifully that meeting went. Fast forward to them asking us to select to start our pilot, and how we landed in Virudhunagar is nothing short of a divine miracle. And I will give you my take on it. I believe everything in Swami's mission is his will. Sometimes we picked first we picked another district. It never took off. It was in Andhra Pradesh. And that was from a rational point of view. And when we went to Virudhunagar, slowly we are discovering the depth of spiritual significance of this decision of Bhagwan. It is sheer sankalpa of our Lord, our boss, and what an honor and a privilege it is for all of us to participate in this. Today, India is faced with a huge challenge. Growing economy, big superpower, the most respected, whatever, largest, we have outsmarted China in our population, GDP growth, whatnot. But we have millions of children who are left behind in the India growth story. They do not, government can announce any number of schemes for their welfare. If the child doesn't know how to read and write the number, the amount that Manrega, Unrega, whatever rural scheme he is entitled to, and he's still going and putting a thumb, that child is at a huge disadvantage, and the India growth story does nothing for that child. And that's where Swami is stepping in. You see, India has 750 revenue districts, out of which about 150 fall in this category called aspirational districts, which means they are very back, in a way, if I may use the word backward and disadvantaged, they are behind the national average in many parameters, such as financial inclusion, girl child health, toilets for children, and one of the key components is foundational literacy and numeracy, FLN, foundational literacy and numeracy. And that step in Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba with his program called Sopan. Sopan, the word means a ladder. It bridges ignorance to enlightenment and illiteracy to literacy. And this is a well thought out program that we received Sai Ram Kumar Jayaraman and his wife, Sister Rashri Natiki, they had a ready module which we were called to do. And fast forward to my first visit. So what we do is that there are 11 blocks in Virudhunagar district. So you cannot, every block is so vast. Every block has hundreds of schools. So we started with Virudhunagar urban, which is the district headquarter, the schools in that block. And then one by one, we have done 4 blocks, 7 more to go. So the blocks we have done are Virudhunagar, Karyapatti, Vatrap, and Srivilliputur. And the next 2 in line are Sivakasi and Rajapalyam, I believe. Rajapalyam. So, go, to the nearest big town for us is Madurai. And in Madurai, we have our own permanent Swami's gift in the form of the Mahatma group of schools, which is run by our respected Premlata madam, who is an ardent Sai devotee. And there are some representatives from the Mahatma family here, and we welcome them warmly. What a pleasure it is to have you, dear sisters. So it is like our own home. It is our second Prashanti Nilayam. And we can get all the facilities we want. And when we go there, Madurai becomes so Maduram because everything is arranged by Anusha's sister and the entire team. And we just have to call out, it would be nice to have this, it would be nice to have that. So very quickly, I have to end now. The first time I went, we were expecting the chief education officer, I hope I get her name right, Dana Gauri madam, to join the proceedings. And I had gone, and I and Rashri were waiting for her to arrive and all the teachers to arrive. I believe 41 or something, but nothing was starting. The auditorium was ready, but there was no audience, nobody to train. And we've got a message that only 11 have reached the bus stand because we sent Mahatma school buses to fetch them from the local main bus depot into the school where the training happens. So, and there was chaos and breakfast was waiting and there was no news. And I said, we can't contribute. Brother Ramamurthy and brother Sairam and brother Kannan and everybody was running around and doing what they could. So I and Rashri decided to sit in a anteroom of the principal's office, Hamsapriya madam's office. And we said, let's just pray to Swami. And we started chanting Gayatri and praying so hard to Swami. And when I opened my eyes, and I just prayed to Swami, I didn't know she was the CEO and she had arrived while we were praying. And in this duration of, I think we did 9 Gayatris, you have to trust us. The whole chaos and confusion got sorted because we surrendered to him who is the master of all time. How long does it take to chant 9 Gayatris? No, just think maybe 4 minutes, 3 minutes. And everybody was arriving and they were loving to walk into the generously well prepared breakfast that the Mahatma school had for the teachers. And then began the session, which is a testimony to the power of what change and transformation can occur when people who work in the name of God with the purest and highest of intentions can achieve. And to bring about change, if anything has changed in the world, brothers, we are neither regular nor ordinary. We are members of that supreme consciousness that created this universe, the galaxies, and all of creation of which we have still no idea. This is, we are sons and daughters of that power. That is the voice of the Vedas. We are sons and daughters and chosen instruments of the highest consciousness that descended in a beautiful form of our beloved Bhagwan, who reminds us every day. The other day was Aradhana Day, tough, showing us his grace. So for me, visiting and participating in this project is Swami's way of giving me a special year-end bonus for my performance. I think he likes something about what I may have attempted because he lets me go to Madurai. And I will tell you what I experienced in Madurai of his presence in the end. But suffice to say, I hope you can notice my beautiful green bangles. Both of them are from Madurai Meenakshi temple. They were given to us by the priest there in August of last year. Since August of last year, I'm still wearing my green bangle from the divine goddess who pervades all our efforts. And the whole project, unknown to us, is driven by energies and powers that are beyond our comprehension. It's a response, Swami's response to the prayers of the saints and sages of that part, the Alvars, the Andals, the seekers who want Bharat to emerge and reclaim its primacy on the world stage as Vishwaguru. With those thoughts, what is this project about? How has it impacted the government schools, and more importantly, how has it impacted us? I'm sure my sisters and brothers will share those details with you. Thank you, Sairam. Over to my brother Sairam Kumar Jayaraman. He is our national level implementation coordinator for SOPAN. Over to you, brother. Sairam.
Sairam, sister. Sairam, everyone. So it's a pleasure, sister, to hear you so fluently roll out all the district names, block names in Virudhunagar district, Karyapatti, Shiluptur, all of. Every time we hear this, see you have all these in fingertips and say this. It's such a pleasure to hear. So, brothers and sisters, loving Sairam to all of you. It's a great opportunity to be here and sharing some of our experiences with all of you. Whenever we speak about Swami, we often refer to his miracles. Our journey in Virudhunagar, as we all heard from Karuna's sister, every step of it has been nothing short of a miracle. I was just looking into, today morning, I was looking into the dictionary for the meaning of the word miracle. The meaning I found in the dictionary is it's a wonderful event. A miracle is a wonderful event. It seems impossible by human effort, believed to be caused by God. If you go by the definition, everything that is happening in Virudhunagar is nothing short of a miracle. When we are in the Sai mission, I'm sure all of us would have experienced this. When we are in the Sai mission, miracles happen all the time. But only on few occasions, we actually understand and acknowledge these miracles as and when they happen. But most often, we understand and realize these miracles, the grandeur of these miracles, the beauty of these miracles only much later when we look back. Today is such an opportunity. This satsang is an opportunity for us to look back and enjoy his miracles. Looking back, the way we started this program itself is a big miracle. Karuna spoke about the meetings with Niti Ayog that she had, and she initiated based on Niti's instructions and guidance. She reached out. Karuna reached out to the CEO of Virudhunagar, to the collector of Virudhunagar, and from that time on, in less than a month, we had 11 education officials from the district of Virudhunagar come to Puttaparthi just in less than a month. 11 of them came down to Puttaparthi, spent 3 days in a workshop, and that was a game changer. All of them, none of them knew about Swami, none of them knew about Vidya Vahini, none of them had heard about Puttaparthi before. They were all blown away by what they saw and experienced in Puttaparthi, and that created a solid foundation for this program. Today, after traversing this journey for quite some time, when we try to organize an event, a half-day event, a small event in Madurai, which is just 60 kilometers away from Virudhunagar, less than 60 kilometers, we find it so hard. We put in a lot of effort to convince, synchronize calendars, see availability of people, and then to bring 1 or 2 officials to Madurai is such an effort. We only realize now, at that time we didn't realize, we only realize now how big this miracle was to have 11 of them travel all the way 600 kilometers away to Puttaparthi, to an unknown location, commit to 3 days plus travel, cost associated with that, and spend those wonderful 3 days in his abode. Such a miracle. We never realized that when actually the magnitude of that when actually it happened. We were continuously challenged, and looking back, we were continuously challenged and overwhelmed at every step of this program. We have been challenged at every step of this program, and whenever we face a challenge, Swami has been giving beautiful solutions to each one of these challenges. When we started this program, we started, as Karuna sister was saying, we started this program with 90 pilot schools in Virudhunagar. And that was a pilot. When we onboarded these teachers, the pilot school teachers and the initial block officials, this is the core team. We wanted to give them an immersive experience that will impact them significantly, because as a core team, they are going to be the influencers for this program in the future. So ideally, we wanted to bring all of them to Puttaparthi. And obviously, that was not possible. So Swami answered our prayers. Premlata Madam, as many of you would know, she heads a group of institutions in Madurai. She very generously and graciously hosted a residential training program for the core group, the first batch of teachers from Virudhunagar, in her school campuses. And these campuses are as serene as Prashanthali. Anybody who had visited these campuses would vouch for it. So that was another miracle that happened. That we could provide that kind of a Parthi kind of an experience for this first batch, residential experience for the first batch of teachers. The program was going fine for some time, and as we all know, COVID happened, and COVID brought the program kind of abruptly to a halt. We didn't know what to do, how to take this program forward. How long? We didn't have a clue how long this COVID impact is going to be. Schools were closed. Miraculously, 100 teachers, around 100 teachers, continued the journey with us through online, WhatsApp, Google Meets. They were not introduced to technology before. They were ready to learn how to use Google Meets, how to come into Google Meets, Zoom meetings, and they journeyed along with us all through. Swami gave an answer. Swami was supporting us throughout the pandemic period to help us keep the teachers engaged, 100 of them. Post-pandemic, now when we try and organize Google Meets, online meetings with some of these teachers just once in a month, we are putting so much of effort to make it happen. It's looking back, it's nothing short of a miracle to have 100 of them journey with us through online platforms, kept engaged for such a long, all through the pandemic times. So that's another another miracle that gives goosebumps to all of us. Finally, the schools reopened, as all of us know. Schools reopened across India June 2022, and now we had to give a refresher training for all the teachers in the pilot block as well, 90 schools. And we had already shared a plan with Niti Aayog that we will onboard teachers across all the 11 blocks much before November 25th, the 100th centenary of our Bhagwan. And we, as per the plan, we had to onboard about 750 teachers in less than 7 months, in about 7 months. Roughly 100 teachers had to be trained and onboarded every month. We were a very, very small team. It was an impossible task made possible by Swami through his grace and blessing. The blessing came in the form of Mahatma school teachers. More than 15 of them signed up to be volunteers, and they said they can come to wherever the training is happening, and they can support us, and we could scale up. We just did not scale up and meet the challenge. The trainings became much more inspiring, much more experiential for all the Virudhunagar teachers, because we had such highly trained teachers from Mahatma schools who were so passionate and sharing what they have with teachers from Virudhunagar. So not only did we scale up, the program became much more effective than what it was before. Like in any journey, this journey that we have been having had lots of ups and downs. There were numerous situations when each of us felt low, lost confidence, question the very purpose of why we are doing this program, what is the impact this is creating, etc., etc. And in each of these instances, Swami would reveal himself and continue to inspire us. Sometimes we face a disinterested group of participants. It will be very discouraging, to say the least. But it will be a miracle to see most of them transform and start to show keen interest even within the same day. And when we also visit a lot of schools as part of this journey, and when we visit some of the schools, It will be very disheartening to see the literacy level of the students in some of these schools, even in high grades, 4th and 5th. It will be, our hearts would sink, we lose courage to bring about any change, overwhelmed by the magnitude of the problem, and we will kind of be giving up on our, when we think it is our ability, when we think it is, we are doing things, we get into this trap of, how are we going to do this? How am I going to do this? A kind of a mental trap. And Swami would immediately show us a very shining example and inspire us. He would show us in one instance when my colleague and I were talking about how disheartening it is, the situation. Then immediately we were actually shown, we met a teacher who was giving her best, so passionately sharing her knowledge and creating kind of a oasis of knowledge in that kind of a desert that we were, and giving her best, and that was very inspiring. What she spoke was even more inspiring. She said her children were doing very well in their life, and that's a great gift from the God. And she wants to share this gift with everybody, with the children in the classroom. And that made us think how many gifts each of us receive from our Swami, and how much responsible we should feel to actually share at least some of these gifts to everyone, the deserving children in Virudhunagar and so on. So every step, every confusion, Swami kinds of in his own way, he clarifies and inspires and pushes us and nudges us to do to much more. One of the other challenges that we constantly face in Virudhunagar is the churn of leaders in Virudhunagar. On the ground, the leaders that we work with, who will coordinate things for us, they keep changing all the time. I talked about the 11 education officials who came to Puttaparthi for a workshop in 2019, the beginning. Today, none of them, not even one of them, is formally part of the program anymore. All of them have changed roles. All of them have moved away to other blocks and other areas in Virudhunagar, and many of them even have moved to other parts of the state. We have seen 3 CEOs change. All the block education officers today we work with, all of them have a tenure of less than a year in their current roles. So it would feel like we are starting afresh. We are starting from scratch with every change, with every time the change happens. But miraculously, fortunately, all these changes have been very smooth. The transitions have been very smooth, thanks to Swami. It has been somehow, all the transitions have been very, very smooth. Maybe Swami has a bigger plan that we don't know today. All these, we through the process of change, we have so many people, so many officials in Tamil Nadu now spread out, who are now aware of Swami, aware of Vidya Vahini, and they have felt Swami in some ways. And maybe Swami will connect all these dots and reveal the bigger picture when we get ready for that. I'm sure he has a plan. So it's been a wonderful journey. It has, in all these experiences, one thing is very clear: Swami is the only doer, and we are so lucky to be his instruments. And the only thing that we can do is pray to be deserving of his grace and blessings, and be his instrument always. Sai Ram. And when I talk about instruments, I'm reminded of one of Swami's great instruments, Sister Vidya Swaminathan, who is also in the satsang with us. She is one instrument who has donned several hats along the journey over the past several years. As a state coordinator for training for Tamil Nadu, she has participated in several of the events in Virudhunagar. It was a pleasure, Sister Vidya Swaminathan, Sister Sai Ram, Sister. It was a pleasure to have you in one of the recent Madurai events that we had, where we launched onboarded 2 blocks of teachers, and it will be great if you can share some of the experiences today with all of us, Sister. Over to you, Sai Ram.
Thank you, sir. As the session progresses, you are going to hear miracles piled upon miracles, as started off by Sai Ram Kumar sir. A few points come to my mind which I feel I must share in this satsang today. I had the good fortune of attending the block launches of Srivilliputtur and Vatrap. And that was the first time I interacted with teachers of Tamil Nadu government schools. And the way their attitude changed from the start of the training till the end of the day. It was nothing short of a miracle, because Mahatma School is very well known for its hospitality, and all of us, the teachers who participated in the training from Mahatma School as trainers, and us part of the Vidya Vahini team, and our director Karuna Munshi Madam herself, we first welcomed all the participants at the venue, and we took them to the breakfast section. We served them breakfast and we brought them back to the venue. And throughout the day, we were helping them out in any way, every way possible. And at the end, when the teachers, the participants, the government school teachers, when they were asked to share their feedback for the day, it was so heartwarming to hear from them that they came with a jaded attitude. They have seen one trainings too many, but this was a complete standout for them, because it was not at all what they expected. Right from our hospitality to the way we helped them to understand what is Sopan, because we know we have a wonderful program for foundational numeracy and literacy in our hands, and it gives us immense satisfaction when the teachers understand the value of this and they are enthusiastic to carry it out to their schools. So their attitude changes, and from jaded non-participants, they become totally involved, 100% partners in transacting the Sopan in their schools. So that is a very great miraculous change which Swami has brought about in their attitudes. And then the government officials, be it the CEO or the BEOs, the block education officers, they come to these meetings, and their presence is such a great motivation to the teachers. So it's not like they do it for namesake. They involve themselves totally in this, and it is so nice to see what's happening. And finally, the volunteers of Sri Sathya Sai Vidya Vahini develop a keen sense of empathy towards the government school teachers, the harshest situations that some of them have to work under. And in spite of all that, they are willing. They have completely, totally embraced the Sopan program because they know the value. They have seen how it brings a transformation in the learning style of the students, how the teachers are feeling rejuvenated when they have to teach the Sopan activities in class. So when we empathize with them, that even under very non-workable situations, I would put it, they are forging ahead as soldiers. So all of this, it has transformed each and every volunteer of Sri Sathya Sai Vidya Vahini who is being part of Sopan. And talking about the volunteers who are on the ground and who are relaying the actual ground conditions in Tamil Nadu schools, I would like to invite Brother Kannan. He is our champion in visiting the schools. He has visited all of the schools in Virudhunagar block pre-COVID and post-COVID too. He picked up just from where he left off, and he's been visiting the schools with the team constantly and getting in touch with the teachers. And the messages he posts in the WhatsApp group, the smiling face of the children, oh, that says it all. Please, Brother Kannan, share your experiences with us.
Sairam, Vidya sister. Sairam to all. As you all know, we started refreshing our Sopan content for printing. This happened sometime in the mid of January. We started doing, and during that period, you wouldn't believe, we all had very minimal sleep hours, and but amidst that, I was blessed to have the darshan of our beloved Swami in my dream, and it was early in the morning. Swami came into my dream after several years. Okay, the fact is, I'm not a very big frequent dreamer of Swami, but somehow I was fortunate enough that Swami chose me to come in my dream. In my dream, Swami was standing on a balcony, which was adjacent to a staircase of a school setting. That much I was remembering. And Swami appeared very bright, very bright. And he was facing the stairs. And one of our Sai brothers, I remember he was wearing a white kurta. And he was climbing up the stairs before me. And I was after him. And we both were seeing Swami. And Swami was watching this brother climbing up the stairs towards him. Okay. Swami looked at him and said, Swami is there. That sentence was very sharp and it actually went into me during the dream. Swami is there. I should say that was a punch dialogue in the dream. After hearing this, brother, he moved up. And I was seeing Swami. And my mind was saying, Swami, please speak to me also. Okay. Swami was gently looking at me and he said, Swami is there. Oh my God, I felt delighted and I woke up from the dream with the feeling that Swami came into my dream and he also spoke to me. And that vision of the staircase and Swami was always in my mind. It was constantly in my mind. And this happened in the end of January. Exactly on 6th of February, I was in Srivilliputturu. It was a Monday morning. We had planned for 3 days training at Srivilliputturu and I was there on 6th February morning. As soon as me and the district president of Virudhunagar, Satya Sai Seva organization, when we reached the premises, we heard that there was a sudden shift in the venue and there was no prior announcement about that. Okay, and it was a big surprise to all of us and we went here and there and we saw the principal of the school and he said, okay, we couldn't help you, but there is only last chance that you can go and see the AV hall, which is on the first floor, close to the library. So we went through the library stairs and we reached that AV hall and it was convincing to both of us. And there was one more Sai brother from Srivilliputturu Samiti. We said, okay, let's fix this place because we didn't have any other choice. Earlier, an indoor court near the main gate, it was actually reserved for us as our training area. That is also inside that school premises only. But since this was the given choice to us, what happened was like we had to set up the hall and we had to run around because it was 9:30 in the morning and teachers also started coming. Government school teachers also started coming and somehow the place was set up and I had to come out of that building. But this time I used the other side of the hall. It was shown to me by some staff there and I had to use that way and I came down to the ground floor to get something or maybe to see that principal once again to request for something else. I came down the stairs, I finished that work and I was returning to the same hall through the stairs through which I came down. As I was climbing that stairs, step after step, I stopped there. I recalled the staircase, which I saw in my dream just a week ago. And it was precisely the same. You wouldn't believe. There was a balcony on my right side through which we had to enter the hall. I said, no, the other side through which I came. There was a balcony. And this balcony was where Swami stood in my dream and said, Swami is there. This scene moved me like anything. You wouldn't believe I had never been to that school before. This is the first time I go to the school. But Swami had subtly shown me the place, the staircase, the balcony, and he also stood up there and declared that he is already there. What else we can expect from the divine director who directs this program at Virudhunagar district? Believe it or not, he is the real doer, and we are all mere instruments doing his job. At this moment, I surrender and pray to our beloved Lord to be always with us, always in this journey, in his divine journey. This incident and the dream, which I narrated now, is about our training at Srivilliputturu block in Virudhunagar district. This training and all the trainings that happen in Virudhunagar district is tremendously supported by teachers from Mahatma School, Madurai. Sister Anusha, who is the junior school headmistress of Mahatma Montessori School, has been our single point of contact in scheduling and arranging the events which happen at Madurai and Virudhunagar district. We are very happy to have Sister Anusha in the satsang. Anusha sister, it would be nice to hear from you about your experiences. Sairam.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Happy evening to all of you and a loving family. Happy to be a part of this. As you rightly said, the Almighty is the doer. And just like how I feel is, I'm like a small squirrel with a small diagram like that. We're all part of the entire big program. So it's a team effort, and I'm Satsang as the point of single, like specific point of contact for this Vidya program. And I'm happy to introduce myself that I'm an alumni of Sri Satyasai University at Anandpur. I did my BA there. And after coming here to Madurai, I got placed in Mahatma. Like our madam, is a founder of the school, and she. So we as a team, and the team are happy to coordinate this. So right from 2000, we are all actively participating.
Sairam, Anusha sister, your audio seems to be unclear.
Okay.
Can you kindly adjust your audio and maybe speak up?
Can you hear me right now? Is that fine, ma'am? Is that fine?
Yes, sister.
Okay. So we have, right from 2014, we have been participating in this Vidya Vahini program. And over more than 8 years, we are all a part of it. And as such, I don't feel any challenges because it's a team effort. And 21st century still says it's collaborative work. That's what is going to win at the end. So me being a part of the good active team, I'm happy to serve in this project, and we all promise that we continue to do the service till whatever time God has assigned to us. And now I would like to call upon one of our teachers, Ms. Sharani, who has been in this institution for several years and has been an active participant in training the teachers. So I want Ms. Sharani to take over and share her experience of training the teachers of various districts. Thank you.
Sure, Anusha ma'am. I should say that Baba has chosen me to be a part of facilitating government teachers to equip their children with simple and unique teaching methods with proper teaching learning aids through the Sopan Vidya Vahini program. It's merely Baba's blessing that I got the opportunity to train Virudhunagar, Karyapati, Matrapu, and Srivilliputur block government teachers. I would strongly say that everywhere it was a successful program, and Baba has given energy and strength to continue our training batch by batch without tiring. Most of the participants assured that they will implement these teaching techniques in their classroom. It was so amazing. In one of the training programs, we had very minimum participants due to some government urgent meeting. I should say that it was a miracle of Baba that the participants were so receptive and they were eager to learn the new methods of teaching through Vidya Vahini. None of us felt bored or tired. We just proceeded with our regular agenda, and the essence of the session reached those minimum trainees effectively, and none of the trainees asked to leave the training program till the end. Personally, I felt inner peace and satisfaction through the service. At this moment, I would like to thank Karuna Munshi Madam for her guidance and support. I also extend my sincere thanks to our beloved Lata Madam for her inspiration and the opportunity given to serve for Vidya Vahini Sopan program. I'm really fortunate to join my hands in the team of Vidya Vahini. All praise be to God, Sri Satya Sai Baba. Chitra ma'am, I know that you are an effective motivator. Do you remember how we made the participants to involve in this training program? We did the warm-up songs and games. All the participants were bubbled with enthusiasm. That's it, right? I'm sure you have a lot to share about Vidya Vahini. Please go ahead, Chitra ma'am.
You are very true, Usha sister. And I would like to share my experience which was happening in the first day training of Virudhunagar. You all said that in Batra Pandal we got tremendous cooperation from the people. But really it's a very opposite effect we got in that particular, the first day training. The training session was made up for 4 days, and the training started with an inauguration session. The first day training, we expected all the teachers will be there, but unexpectedly all the HMs, AHMs, BEOs, everyone participated in the training. Besides our efforts in putting the training session to be effective, we faced adverse responses from the participants. As there was lack of interest and inactive participation, we were struggling to bring the concentration of the participants towards the content of the training session. Beyond others, blessings of Baba were there in subsequent sessions. After arsenal prayers were made at the feet of Baba to give us a favorable and positive environment in conducting this training session. The service intention with due respect needed the attention of the participants, the individual concentration. The attitude of the participation gradually came into full cooperation through our step-by-step training techniques, which were purely from the hands of Baba, made the complete change of the session into mutual concentration among the every active participation was self-driven by Baba's blessing, which resulted in the learning of youth by the participants, irrespective of their position. This proved that every moment was becoming a purpose and enjoyment in the training activities, which ultimately give us detailed and heartfelt feedback from the participants at the close of the session. The objective of the training session was 100% fed into the minds of the participants, which made them promise those training activities to be taken as an initiative for the development of skills learning, and the same will be carried over to the academic preparations. This being a successful training of referential for Swami Sai Baba, isn't it, Ramurthy brother? Would you like to share your experiences, Ramurthy brother?
Sairam, thank you, Chitra sister. Sairam, everyone, I would like to share the interesting aside part after the day-long work of our beloved Lord Sri Satya Sai Vidya Vahini Seva. You all know in Parthi, after a whole day work, Karuna ma'am used to arrange an evening satsang, which would always be the best interesting aside for all of us, right? It would be rejuvenating and re-energizing for all of us. Likewise, when we arrange training sessions in other cities, we always arrange to visit the famous temples in the vicinity in the evening. I had witnessed Swami's abundant blessings during such times, particularly after the Vidya Vahini work the whole day. Let me share a few of them. On an occasion when Karuna ma'am visited Madurai, we had arranged a visit to the goddess Meenakshi temple. You all know how crowded it would be in Meenakshi temple daily, and even with the highest of recommendations, we can only get a glimpse of the divine goddess. But on that particular day, you wouldn't believe there was this person who we call it as Beshkar, the temple in charge, was waiting outside the temple to receive us. After receiving with all due respect, he took on us to so close to the shrine of the goddess, made us sit for more than 15 minutes until our thirst was fully quenched. At least I have never seen anyone recently taken so close and that too to sit there for a while. It was an incredible experience for all of us. After that long, blissful darshan, the chief priest honored all of us, the whole team, and spoke to Karuna ma'am about Swami and the darshans he had of the Lord. Similar experiences we had with Lord Subramania's darshan at Palamudur Cholai near Aragur Kovil and also at Tirupparamkundram. What I said is nothing but the truth. I had visited these temples later. It was not the same as we go as a Vidya Vahini team. His blessings would be abundant when we do his work, and that to his pet project, Sri Satya Sai Vidya Vahini Seva Program. Sairam. Balaji brother from Vidisha team is here, who is heading the Vidisha Vidya Vahini team. I'm sure he has more thrilling experiences too. Balaji brother, over to you.
Sairam. Vidisha was the second aspirational district which was given to Vidya Vahini team to take up. So our first visit was in July 21, and during the presentation we were trying desperately to get in touch with the Parthi team so that they could pitch in during the presentation, but the connectivity was so poor, we didn't have even one of this. So we finished the presentation in 45 minutes, and there were a lot of questions lined up. So the team again tried to connect with this, and this time it was a miracle. It was such a crystal clear connectivity we got, and the whole team was happy. Karunadi, with all the team members, Sri Vidya, everyone from Parthi were able to answer all the queries, and the session, question and answer session, went on for around about 1 hour, 15 minutes. So that was an absolute miracle, from no connectivity to super connectivity. It was just Baba playing it, giving us the support what we wanted. And when I was picked up at the airport the previous day by Urmila brother, we were just discussing something, and a small incident of wearing a seat belt happened. So I was just requesting them if we can start wearing the seat belt. And it was such a blessing. When we were coming back from the event and I was being dropped at the airport, we met with an accident. Our car was hit by a truck, and we had a 360-degree spin, and none of us, 3 of us, were there in the car. We didn't even have a scratch. The car was damaged beyond this driving. So we had to call a towing van and take it to straight to this. But it is totally Baba's hands right from the presentation time, which we could feel as a team that he is always behind us. And it's brilliant. We have been able to do some sort of a progress in Vidisha. And I have a great opportunity to welcome Urmila brother, who is the base behind the total working of Vidisha team. Over to Urmila ji for your experiences.
Really, it was an amazing experience and so many of challenges. Our first challenge was about what content should we adopt with the teachers, as they were given 5 days training for foundational literacy and numeracy, which is being implemented in MP as Mission Ankur. They have already printed textbooks and made that syllabus for that and started giving training to the teachers. As we were told by the government people told us that you do not give another training to our teachers, as we have already imparting them, giving them training, and otherwise the teachers will be confused. And instead of that, they will be confused. And I tell Sargam sister, you have also attended that training. And can you share your experiences?
Yes, Surya Bhaiya, I clearly remember that we had a training session of Sopan in Sri Sathya Sai College, and we had a lot of B.Ed students also joining us, and we were thrilled that the government has already come up with Mission Ankur, and we have to follow the Ankur, and we will have to undergo the training. So, like, we were wondering that how we will be clubbing our Sopan and Mission Ankur, and how are we going to go ahead with the training. And how this training program came up and how we got the people to get trained under that was also very amazing. Surya brother, I would want you to share that how in the beginning we had some difficulty in getting the trainers and how very smoothly the entire process went on.
Yes, sister, it was very challenging situation as we did not have a single volunteer at that time who could take such training for continuous 5 days in Bhopal, and it was to start the very next day. We were thinking over this and earnestly praying to Swami to guide us. Suddenly, one of us commanded, "Send Sasi Urmalia. She has been a teacher." The intensity of that voice still echoes in my mind as the stone got rolled, leaving the rest to Swami. Finally, one more volunteer agreed because already it was 9 o'clock in the evening. The next day, the training was started and joint training program. Later on, 4 more volunteers joined their training in Vidisha, and we could become acquainted with that program to handle and work with primary teachers. Sargam sister, you had also attended that training. How was your experiences?
Brother, it was an amazing experience, and rather I would want to share it with all the sisters and brothers that when we had to attend Ankur training program, we had all the participants were government school teachers, and they were wondering as to how and from where have these two of us had attended the training session, and they were wondering that what makes them come and attend training sessions for so long. Why are they here? So many of them inquired us about our interest to be there, and they asked like, "Are you getting something? Like, why are you here? Leaving all your work, you have come here." So when we said that no, we are from Sri Sathya Sai organization, we are coming from this project, and we would want to spread this message, and all of us have volunteered. It is not only 2 of us; there are many who have joined the mission, which gives us a great pleasure. It was amazing, and they were not able to believe. And later on, they appreciated our efforts, and they said that we would also like to join the program in future if it is possible. So somewhere it was amazing to see that we were just the instruments, and how through us Swami had sent his message across to people around. That was really amazing. Yes, we had faced certain challenges with Surya brother. I would want you to share, but how Swami has helped us to sail through the challenges smoothly is amazing.
The other challenge was how to get volunteers for visiting Vidisha schools every month. We have been allotted 32 schools there and plan to visit 80 schools in one trip. Then only we could complete all the schools in 4 days. Training in Mission Ankur, that whenever you require their services, you can take them to Vidisha without any problem. You directly tell them and let them go with you. Another problem was financial, as Vidisha is 70 kilometers away from Bhopal, and every visit by taxi had a cost. There Swami helped us through our state president, and who involved Satsang Women's College, which is in Bhopal, to take care of this matter. So we were very thankful to Swami. Another challenge was to find out observer in Vidisha, because we could only visit once in a month. So one person, one observer was required to take care of those schools. So who could coordinate with the school teachers and give us feedback about how the teachers are covering the topics, whether they adopt the activity-based approach or trying to teach in traditional way. Here also, with grace and blessings, during our first visit in one of the schools, we found Mr. Ayakbar, who was a retired principal and was giving help in that school voluntarily. Immediately it flashed in my mind that this person can be of our help, and talked to him about our project, and he agreed. With his help, we could smoothly make liaison with the school teachers and our visits and getting welcoming support from them. Do you remember our first visit, sister?
Yes, Surya brother, that scene is clearly in front of my eyes when we had got a chance to interact with the government teachers. We had given a presentation where Swami was on the screen, and we had something written on it. The saying was, Manav Seva hi Madhav Seva hai. We did not have to put any special effort to get connected to the people around, because it was an instant connect. It was a connection which he had decided for us and he had established. And immediately we had a great response. We introduced IAP board, and a great response from the teachers was there. We even had certain volunteers coming up and singing motivational songs. So they knew immediately that we were for a noble cause and we have to work together. So that was an amazing experience. In fact, every time we visited, I must say that Swami always says that love my uncertainty. And we had experienced it to a great extent, because every time we planned and we went to Vidisha for something or the other, probably meeting an official, and we found that he was not available, but we had somebody else guiding us and taking us through. So we knew that the plan was his. In fact, the plan is his. All the instruments are his instruments. All that we have to do is take that very little effort of saying, yes, Swami, we are with you in your mission, and take that first step and get into the vehicle which is going to Vidisha probably. And then the entire work is planned by him and it is done. We hardly have to do anything. Everything is taken care of by our Swami, by Lord Swami. And as Urmiliya brother, you were sharing that after 20 years, if I'm not wrong, you could connect back to Swami. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Finally, it was a good fortune of mine. After a gap of almost 20 years, I got the opportunity to work in the Sai mission, and that too in the Central Trust project of Vidya Vahini with the Niti Ayog in the aspirational district of Vidisha, from where I left the organizational work 20 years ago. I pray to Swami to give me strength, capacity and resources to work with these children and expand Swami's love to other remaining schools of Vidisha block and district. Sairam.
That's really amazing, Surya brother. And I wish to add here that having spent 7 years in close proximity of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, 4 years as a student and 3 years as a teaching assistant in the Department of Chemistry in Anandpur, I really feel blessed, because after marriage somewhere, he was always there with me throughout my life. But then there was something which was missing. And I'm extremely thankful to Swami that he gave me this opportunity. It was like coming back to home. And I'm extremely thankful to all the team members who are associated with this program, because somewhere it is really amazing to see how each one of us sitting at different corners of the country are able to connect. And probably this is the first time I'm meeting all, but it never looks like that. It's like, you have connections from past, and we are all together on a mission. So it's a heart-to-heart connection for all of us, where Swami stays in all our hearts. And I will call this as a miracle, where everybody with a good intention joins hand together and we are working together for our dear Lord. I now invite Karuna Minshi to sum up.
Om Sai Ram. Thank you, Sargam. Thank you, Urmilya ji and Balaji for telling us about Vidisha, because this is the second project we have taken up and we're running out of time. I want to tell you a quick story. Last year in May, at this just shortly a few weeks from now, it was 44 degrees and we went to Bhopal to do this training. So Dr. Chandra, Dr. Radhika Rani Rao, they were training, and Sargam, they were all training the B.Ed students in Swami's College in Bhopal, and myself and Balaji brother and Urmalya ji, some of us went straight into Vidisha district. It was a very hot day, and after great difficulty, we met the CEO of the Panchayat Raj. He was a young IAS officer who is a medical doctor by profession, and he was very hospitable and welcoming, and he kept asking us, he's very interested. He is in IIEP board, especially corridor. He said he went to a government school, and here he was a successful medical doctor who was now an IAS officer, and he loved everything he was hearing, and he served us the best tea ever, and he gave us so much time, and I was feeling very guilty because many people were outside waiting. So I said, I think we have taken too much of your time, sir. He said, nahi madam, please baithiye. Every day I have gundas, politicians, bad people come here जो threaten करते हैं, हमारा लोगों को जेल से छोड़ो, हमारा ये काम करवाओ, otherwise we'll throw you out, we'll have you hacked, we'll have you killed. It's very nice that somebody from Satya Sai Baba's ashram, some nice people have come who are doing good work, and he was so welcoming. And after that, we went back to the collectorate and met the district collector, who was so happy to meet us, to say that his children have studied in Swami school in Indore, Sri Satya Sai Vidya Vihar, Indore. So everywhere we went, Swami is always ahead of us. And before this happened, it's very hard to make the inroads. Our own IAS sisters and brothers in the services have been so helpful to us. I have to tell you this miracle. Just before this Vidisha business began, one of our brothers who's an IAS officer and a Sai devotee, his name is Brother Hari also. Brother Hari got a single memo with the one name that the Prime Minister of India's office has appointed this particular Brother Hari ji as a Prabhari or something on behalf of PMO for Vidisha. So our own Sai devotee brother became the Prime Minister's eyes and ears on Vidisha. That's how we knew we had made the right decision. And he went ahead of us and he laid all the groundwork, and that is how the success is coming. And both in Tamil Nadu and in Madhya Pradesh, the Satya Sai Seva organization and the state trust have been so generous and cooperative and helpful to us. We could not have done anything without their help. And the reason all these forces are coming together is because it is Swami's divine sankalpa. And for me personally, it is my experience, and I'm happy to share. I've spoken about it to many people. So what Ramamurthy told you, after the end of a day, we were so excited to go to Premlata madam's house because there is a beautiful mystical hill behind her house. For me, I go out, I get spaced out, I'm otherworldly moment. We were talking about all the Siddhas who may have done meditation there, and then we went to Bhagwan Kartik Ji's mandir. It's very difficult to pronounce, Adgil Kovil or something. And there are three altars, Ganesh ji, Kartik ji, and the veil, the spear of Bhagwan Kartik ji. And in Ganesh temple, we chanted Gananam. Then the next one, whatever we chanted, I don't know. I just saw Swami standing besides the god. I just saw Swami standing like this in his orange robe besides Kartik Bhagwan. And then they took us because the temple had closed. Because of Premlata madam's influence, they let us in at night. And then we sat in front of the Jhula where they brought the small Kartik Bhagwanji to put him to bed. On the Jhula with a lot of band baja. There was a band baja Bharat. He comes for his night routine, and Swami was seated on the Jhula and swinging and looking at the five of us who were seated in front of him. Rajshri, myself, Kannan, Sairam Kumar, and Premlata madam and her daughter-in-law Priya. And the next day, what Ramamurthy told you, we sat on the silver door of the goddess for the longest time. And after everybody went, something told me to just peep one more time. I went and I craned my neck, and she flashed her diamond at me like a lighthouse. And I knew it was the biggest spiritual experience of my life. And when we went to see Sundaresh Bhagwanji, the Lingam, Ramamurthy and Sairam started chanting loudly Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. It was like we were in heaven. It was a transcendental moment. And then there was another wonderful experience we experienced with the Siddha. So it was all magic, magic, magic. And I believe this is the work that Swami really likes, the grassroots level, going to the last child, going to the village where nobody cares and sharing his love with them. And that makes him so happy that he keeps throwing these freebie bonuses at us. And for that, I'm so grateful. May we always stay inspired. May we take this as our sadhana. We don't need to do Atirudram Yagnas and all. If you have time, do them. Just go. If we go for our aspirational district work with that passion, that burning passion that every disadvantaged child is an incarnation of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. He is a little form, a miniature Baba. We have to serve that girl or boy with that much love through his or her teacher. I think we are on to something really special. Thank you so much for staying back, and sorry I took extra time. Thank you. Good night and Sairam from my side. Over to the host now.
We will proceed for Mangal Aarti. All are requested to stay till we complete.
Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Satya Sai Hare Bhakta Jana Samrakshak Bhakta Jana Samrakshak Pati Maheshwara Om Jai Jagadish Hare Shashivadana Shrikara Sarva Pranapate Swami Sarva Pranapate Ashrita Kalpalatika Ashrita Kalpalatika Avakandhava Om Jai Jagadish Hare Mata Pita Guru Daivamu Mariyantayu Nive Swami Mariyantayu Nive Nada Brahma Jagannatha Nada Brahma Jagannatha Nagendra Shayana Om Jai Jagadish Hare Omkara Rupa Ojasvi Sai Mahadeva Satya Sai Mahadeva Mangala Arati Anduko Mangala Arati Anduko Mandara Giridhari Om Jai Jagadish Hare Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana 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 Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Jai Sadguru Deva Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana 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 Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Jai Sadguru Deva Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana 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 Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Jai Sadguru Deva Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की